Have you ever wondered what actually happens behind the scenes, the exact millisecond you click buy online? Well, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to unpack the hidden workflow of e-commerce using a highly detailed BPMN 2.0 diagram from Globex Electronics. BPMN, or Business Process Model in notation, is basically the universal language companies use to map out their internal logic. So let's dive right in and decode the invisible machinery that brings a package straight to your front door. Here's our roadmap for today. First, mapping the Globex process. 2, order intake and inventory. 3, the stock availability gateway. 4, the split for shipping and billing. And 5, consolidation and final fulfillment.
Section 1. Mapping the Globex process.
Okay, so at first glance, this might look incredibly complex, like a crazy web of boxes, but the entire map is actually neatly organized into horizontal rows. In BPMN terminology, this outer box is called a pool, and it represents Globex Electronics as a whole. Inside that pool, we have lanes. You can clearly see 4 distinct lanes here, one for the sales department, warehouse, shipping, and accounting. Every single task sits perfectly inside the lane of the department responsible for it. It's like a giant swimming pool where everyone stays in their own lane, so we instantly know exactly who is doing what.
Section 2. Order intake and inventory.
Everything in a BPMN diagram has a strict starting line, which is beautifully illustrated by the start event. It's represented by that thin-lined green circle labeled Order Received, and it dictates exactly where the process begins. The absolute second you submit your online cart, this event fires off an arrow, what we call a sequence flow, which immediately triggers the very first active task, process order straight over in the warehouse lane. But the warehouse team doesn't just work out of thin air, right? Notice those little icons connected by dotted lines? Those are data artifacts. They show us the exact information required to complete a task. So here, processing the order requires both the incoming customer order document and access to the internal order database. It's basically a precise recipe for getting the job done.
Section 3. The stock availability gateway.
All right, we now need to introduce a really crucial BPMN concept, the gateway. Specifically, this exclusive gateway. It's that diamond shape marked with a bold X. Think of this as a hard decision point, asking, check stock availability. The X literally means the process flow is mutually exclusive. It can only go down one of the available paths. It's a strict either-or situation. No in between.
So, what are our 2 paths? Well, if the item is out of stock, the flow gets routed upwards into the sales lane to trigger notify customer, sending you that dreaded out-of-stock email. After that, the path abruptly dies at a red circle labeled order canceled. But if the item is in stock, the journey successfully continues forward through the warehouse lane.
Assuming the item is sitting on the shelf in stock, the warehouse workflow becomes perfectly linear. The team simply executes 2 sequential tasks. First, they pick items from the shelves. Once that's fully complete, the sequence flow points them directly to pack items. It's a very simple physical progression.
Section 4. Split for shipping and billing.
Right after packing, we hit a totally different kind of diamond, one with a plus sign inside. This is a parallel gateway labeled split for shipping/billing. Unlike our previous X gateway that forced a hard choice, the plus gateway means the sequence flow is about to duplicate itself. It splits the process to trigger multiple separate tasks at the exact same time. It is the ultimate symbol for corporate multitasking. Because of that split, 2 entire departments are now working on the same customer order concurrently. Down in shipping, they're acting on the physical box. They generate shipping label and then ship order. But simultaneously, up in the accounting lane, they tackle the financials, generate invoice, followed by collect payment. This parallel structure is literally the secret to how large companies process orders so incredibly fast.
Section 5. Consolidation and final fulfillment.
Now, if you split a path, you usually have to bring it back together, right? Enter our second parallel gateway, labeled Consolidate Fulfillment. Notice how arrows from both shipping and accounting point right into the single diamond. Here, it acts as a consolidating gateway, essentially a waiting room. The overall process absolutely cannot move forward until both the physical and financial flows have successfully arrived, ensuring 0 loose ends. Once consolidated at that gateway, the process funnels into one final unified sequence flow. It routes back up into the sales department for one last task, send fulfillment confirmation. Yep, that translates to that exciting email hitting your inbox, letting you know your receipt and tracking number are officially ready. And that final communication tees up our conclusion. The entire journey beautifully terminates right after that email, at the thick red circle labeled Order Fulfilled. This is the end event. A thick red line means no more arrows, no more tasks, and absolutely no more data. The sequence has reached absolute completion. When we look back at the full diagram now, it's no longer just a confusing web, is it? You can easily read the chronological story. You can spot the start event, understand the different gateways, track the data artifacts, and follow the exact route a successful order takes across 4 entire departments before hitting that red end event. It is a masterclass in business efficiency, visually mapped out.
It's truly incredible how much highly coordinated effort, split-second decision-making, and parallel processing goes into a single click of a button. The next time you order something online, picture this invisible map charting the course of your package. It really leaves you wondering, if this is what a simple everyday order looks like, just how complex is the hidden architecture of the massive organizations you interact with every single day? Thank you for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.